So LimaCharlie Net it operates in a space that you probably have heard a bunch of different terms around it. Just to name a few, there's the zero trust space. There is also perimeter, software-defined perimeter, a lot of things like in that space. Ultimately, what we're really talking about is micro-segmentation of devices, giving you control over network activity and all things network really at a device level, but based in the cloud. So what that means is that we go from a generally, like, this is a very general architecture where you may define your perimeter on perimeter firewalls in your company. This is the internet. This is on premises. And that's where you define things, and then you talk a lot about subnets and which subnet has access to what. And we're moving this concept into the cloud and really going natively per device. So what that means is we see it a little bit as an extension of endpoints, right? We at LimaCharlie have done a lot of EDR, XDR. So the idea is that we're taking the same concepts around the control you have on your endpoints and bringing that to network. So now, instead of managing things at a single border where maybe you have a laptop that's on premises and that works fine, but then they go home, how do you manage the network access there? It's a whole different architecture. You need a whole different sets of controls. It can get pretty complex. And we're moving that into devices live each within their own enclave. So each device is controllable, visible per device. So you don't have to deal with, here's the subnet and there's a bunch of things. I'm not really sure what they are in there. And I see just one big pipe of traffic and I have to deal with that one big pipe of traffic as a monolith. Instead, you're saying, here's all the devices that I have on my network, right? So maybe I have some servers. Maybe I have an on-prem Jira server. Then I have some workstations, some laptops as well. And whether the laptop is in the office under, on premises, or it goes home, inherently you get still the same control, same level of control, same level of visibility. You're not losing or shifting your entire visibility every time something moves around. So it allows you to start making access decisions, policies, logging, capture decisions based on very detailed information that about the device and who's on that device, instead of having to deal with kind of nebulous concepts of, well, this is the subnet where all my salespeople go, and hopefully that's it, and put some policies there, and it's very coarse. So now you can be very, very fine-grained. And at a high level, that's kind of the shift in connectivity that we're bringing in. So the zero trust aspect, meaning you can define at a device or user level, who has access to what, not which big subnets or anything like that. And it doesn't matter where you are. So we're also, part of this is breaking down a lot of barriers by introducing use cases, like scenarios that you can start dealing with, where, let's say you have on premises, you have a server, maybe it's a Jira server internal, and you have salespeople that go on the road and they need to access it. In the kind of old world, you would have had to go and, with your network people, kind of trace the whole way in. Okay, we have a firewall here. We need to, make an exception, like expose a port that goes to a specific machine. There's a whole, ton of heavy duty kind of, moving pieces around. With LimaCharlie Net, now you're able to very simply say, this LimaCharlie Net device is my Jira server, and I want to expose it to these other devices that what they are, who they are. And by default, you can do that wherever the devices are. So you could say, my salespeople, whether they're on-prem or they're on the road, they're always still able to access this through LimaCharlie Net in the same way, wherever they are. Obviously, you can get into more details about limiting those where and when those devices try to access. It's super powerful. From a security perspective, it makes it a lot easier to know exactly what impact occurs in terms of connectivity to a device. But also, we're a security infrastructure company. It also means that it makes doing incident response much more easy as well, or the ability to kind of drop into a box. Maybe you have LimaCharlie and EDR installed already there and upgraded to Net. So you get all of a sudden, you get the full, visibility and control on granular on the pipe, whatever is happening from a network perspective on that host. So you're able to start isolating specific things, sinkholing specific DNS or IPs, but also, doing a lot of the kind of the bread and butter of incident response and security, which is doing things like PCAP, right? The ability to run PCAP in the large scale in a way that you can handle, right? You're not trying to run PCAP over like a 10 gig Ethernet link, which can be challenging, but rather you're always dealing with one device specifically.